What's going on, everybody? We got a great hand for you today. This hand takes place between Tony G, Gus Hansen, and a recently born legend that we met because of his epic celebration, the Krocodile. Before we get into it, I do want to say, by the way, Krocodile, if you're out there watching this right now, you get a free course, man. Hit me up. I got you. Free course. All the bonus material you need, man. Upswing Poker and Jay Nandez's Pot Limit Omaha course is available. If you sign up in the link in the description, you get extra bonus material that's going to be PLO and GTO Club related from myself, as well as a copy of my book, Chasing the Poker Dream. This hand takes place at the King's Casino. The stakes are 100, 100, 200, 400, 600, 800, 1600, and a $3,200. There's like 85 straddles on in this hand, and somehow I think there are 10 decisions that I may have made a different play in with this hand. So I don't know exactly where the action starts here, but Krocodile limps in with ace-ace 7-3 with two spades. Davin calls king jack 9-9. Tony G limps in with ace queen 7-4. I guess they complete, they limp. I'm not quite sure how we're going to define it here. Gus Hansen has king 8 7-5 double suited and decides that this is going to be a good hand to go ahead and make a raise. Now he makes it about 21,000. Now folds back to the Krocodile, who starts the hand off with about 100,000. So with a $3,200 big blind, these guys are all playing very, very, very shallow. So Krocodile decides to just call with his hand. Davin, who starts the hand off with about 31,000, decides he's not going to go all in with the king jack 9-9. He folds. Tony G goes ahead and makes a call with ace queen 7-4, ace queen of diamonds. So now like I said, there's a lot of strange plays that took place this hand. I'm surprised Krocodile, very aggressive player. One of my favorite Pot Limit Omaha players in the history of the entire game ever. He decides to just call with ace-ace 7-3. I'm surprised he doesn't raise pre-flop. I think I'd like to see him raise that hand up pre-flop. He's going to want to balance his range. He's raising a lot of hands, a lot of marginal hands. I think he's going to want to have ace-ace 7-3, a stronger hand in his range here. Tony G goes ahead and calls. I probably would maybe make a fold with ace-queen 7-4. I think I'd make a tight fold ace-queen 7-4. I mean, I'm not a fan of folding pre-flop, but this might be a spot. We do have that nut suit, but the stacks aren't that deep. So even when we do flop the nut flush or when we're going to flop a lot of weak top pairs that we're going to have some weird decisions on and a lot of flops. It's just not going to be a pretty hand, put it like that. And then, now Gus Hansen, he decides to raise it up here with king 8 7-5 double suited. Obviously double suited hand, beautiful hand. But I don't know how much fold equity he's going to really have pre-flop. I think I'd prefer to just check here and see a flop. But as played, he raises, and then it gets back to Krocodile. I think the Krocodile is an automatic 4-bet here. I think it's just, he's got to try to put a lot of money in pre-flop. I don't know if he's been 4-betting a lot, or I guess it's actually a 3-bet. This straddle thing's throwing me off right now. But yeah, I think he's going to want to 3-bet this hand, honestly, man. He really wants to be balanced in his range with some strong hands like ace-ace 7-3. And then when it gets back to Tony G, once again, I think you gotta let this hand go, Tony. You gotta fold sometimes, Poppy.
Players agree to stay on the live stream, and very often the game continues after the live stream ends. Enjoy. The blinds here are 100, 100 with a mandatory straddle of 200. But we've been seeing straddles up to €600. And we have the Krocodile with the aces. Betting out, and Tony G with top pair, top kicker may continue in this hand because it is the Krocodile and he has position on him. And if you've been watching this stream, you'll realize very quickly that the Krocodile is a complete novice to the game of Omaha. And when I say complete novice, I mean an absolute complete novice. This is the first game of Omaha he's ever played. Got a quick 2-minute tutorial before the start of this session. Just came in for a few hands of blackjack and decided to hop in the game. Bought in for 45,000, lost, reloaded again. Me? And he's playing now with 100,000. Sorry, he lost a big pot there. He's about 75,000. Leon's been straddling up to 1.6k. That's correct, €1,600. We've seen straddles up to. I haven't seen a 3200 straddle yet, but I could correct me if I'm wrong. But this game is big and it's getting bigger. And we're just waiting on Tony to act because the Crocodile is bet into him. Now, I'm sure Tony's going to continue here, and the reason he's going to continue is because it is the Crocodile who's in the hand, and has position on him. And he is top pair with top kicker. He's asking, he asked Gus what he has. No, he elects to fold. And Gus is not going to continue either, I don't think. Okay, he's going to look again, and I'm sure he's going to fold. He has to fold here. No, he's continuing in the hand. Okay, well, at the moment he's a pair of eights with his king kicker.
So the flop comes down, queen 8-2. Crocodile's got an overpair with a backdoor quad draw and a backdoor Bangkok, aka backdoor nut flush draw. Tony G flops top pair, top kicker with a backdoor straight draw, and Gus Hansen has middle pair with 2 backdoor flush draws and a backdoor straight draw. So Crocodile decides to lead out here for 8,000 into a pot of about 71 or 60 some $1,000. If I'm going to lead out here in Crocodile spot, I prefer to just bet the pot. He's got about a pot-sized bet left. I think just betting pot, very easy, very straightforward play. As played, he makes a little peculiar play, decides to bet 8,000. Now, Tony G's got a decision. He's got about 44,000 chips behind. He flops top pair. Now, my motto is, if I put $22,000 in pre-flop with ace, queen, 7-4, and I flop, the flop comes queen 8-2, I'm putting all the rest of my money in, okay? Like, the pot's that big. I'm committing the rest of my chips if I decide I'm going to make the call. I pre-flop, but I'm certainly... there's no option that says I'm folding the flop in an 8,000 chip bet. He counts his chips. I don't know if he doesn't want to rebuy or something like that. The announcer said he has 32 million. I don't know what's happening here. It gets back to Gus Hansen. He thinks about it for a little bit. I think he's got an obvious call. Pretty easy call. He thinks about it, makes that call. We go ahead, and we see the turn.
Crocodile has the aces. Hearts have come for Gus. And this pot is huge. And the bet was so small, and that's why it's actually getting cheaper as it goes along. And Leon is having a little chuckle to himself. He's thinking, will the river be cheaper again? And you're definitely going to see Gus continue with the price he's getting here. 3,000 into a 90,000 pot. And he is holding a flush draw, but it is a paired board. So how is he going to read that bet? And he raises it. And this is a great raise because I don't think the Crocodile... Oh, he does, he continues, yeah. Crocodile is staying around. This second queen has...
So the turn comes down to Queen of Hearts, and shit gets fucking weird. So Crocodile bets $3,000 into 3,000 euro, whatever, dollars, euro. Bets 3,000 into a pretty big pot here. And Gus decides to raise it to 11,000, makes an 8,000 raise. Yeah. I honestly have no idea. I'm trying to figure out what my man the Croc could be thinking right here. And I got no fucking clue. I just don't know. I don't know what he's thinking. And Gus Hansen decides to raise here. Not quite sure what he's thinking. I don't know if he's trying to get the Croc to fold, if he's raising for value. He turns the heart draw. He's got the 8 in his hand. I don't know. See the river.
Scared him off. And now Gus comes good. And Gus has a set of 8s with a king kicker. And it's checked back to him.
No idea what's going on.
And Gus says, I've no idea what's going on.
Absolutely no idea.
He's hit his set of 8s, and this is quite funny. Gus says he hasn't a clue what's happening here. This is very funny.
Absolutely no idea what's going on. I wish I was. I wish was the Kaiser here because I have no idea.
This is an amazing hand. And
River comes 8 of clubs, and Gus Hansen makes trips on the river here. So Crocodile looks at his hand, picks his cards up, makes a check, and now Gus has a decision here. Do I value bet or do I show my hand down? Pot's already pretty big, 110,000 euro. And he talks about it for a little bit. He says he wishes he was the Kaiser. He wish he had the dream machine here to figure things out. I think in this spot, you know, if we're going to put people on ranges, if we're going to say what's Crocodile's range here for betting 8,000 and betting 3,000, I think he has some queens. I think he's going to have some aces. I think eights. I think he's going to have some flush draws too. Maybe some inside straight draws. Now, when you look at it in Gus's spot, you know, should I value bet that hand? Well, I think, you know, if the Crocodile maybe had a queen here, he might take that line. So I think he shows up with a queen a decent amount of the time. I think he shows up with an 8 some amount of time as well. Obviously, we've got king 8. We've got trip 8s with the second best kicker right now. So, and now we think about Crocodile's hands that, you know, what hands would just check fold here. So is some of his straight draws, some of his missed flush draws. Well, I do think Crocodile does have a hand that is going to call. So, you know, he could have some aces. He might have some kings. He might have some 9s or 10s or jacks or something like that. He just doesn't want to give up because he doesn't believe Gus's story. So I think in Gus's spot here, while there is some chance that the Croc's going to show up with a slow played queen maybe and oh man, I tried.
1,000 into a 70,000
yeah.
pot, and then 3,000 into a 90,000 pot. I mean, it was just. And Gus is good. And the Crocodile is after losing a big chunk of change there. This is incredible. Gus did get lucky on him.
He had the ace.
But how it was, the bet was so low, the 8,000 was so low.
No,
I mean, Tony.
So Gus checks back, shows down his hand, wins the pot. Loose Leon sits back, drinks a nice beer, and the game continues. Everybody, appreciate everyone for tuning in. All the likes, all the comments, all the good comments, all the negative comments. I appreciate you supporting the great game of Potland Omaha. I appreciate you supporting my videos, and thank you very much. Honestly, you know, it means a lot that people do enjoy these, that people do want to see more Potland Omaha. So be back soon. Be back tomorrow. Take it easy. Much love.